When you use Claude or any other AI tool, what does it actually look like? Do you open a new chat, type a prompt, copy the answer, and leave? Then tomorrow you come back and do the exact same thing all over again? If that's how you're using Claude, then you're like most beginners and you need to make some changes. Today I'm going to show you the exact workflow to help you change how you use this thing. Somewhere along the way, everyone gets obsessed with prompts. You've seen it over and over again. Best 100 prompts for entrepreneurs, 500 ChatGPT prompts that will change your life, the ultimate prompt for this and that. There is an entire economy built around selling you a better sentence to type into these tools. But here's the problem with all of that. The prompt disappears the second the conversation ends, but the system gets better every single time you use it. Think about this. Imagine you're hiring a new employee and every morning you sit them down, you explain your business, your customers, your writing style, your products. By lunchtime, they finally understand what you need. Then at the end of the day, you fire them. Tomorrow, you hire someone brand new and explain everything all over again. You would never run the business that way. I mean, it's absurd just saying it out loud. But that's exactly how millions of people use Claude. New chat, explain everything from scratch, get an answer, close it, and then repeat tomorrow. That's not what you should be doing. Stop thinking of Claude as one assistant you talk to. Start thinking of it as an entire company you're building. A real company doesn't have one person doing marketing, sales, research, writing, finance, and all of that at once. It has departments, specialists, people who think about one part of the problem and then they think about it deeply. Claude can work exactly the same way. Instead of one long, messy conversation that is trying to do everything at once, you build dedicated environments for specific jobs. That's what Claude projects are actually for, and it's the part almost everyone skips. Here's the workflow itself, piece by piece. Everything starts with a project, not a chat, a project. Step 1. Give Claude permanent memory. Inside that project, you tell Claude who you are once, and it stays there for good, not a 2-line bio. A real onboarding, the same way you onboard an actual employee. You're going to paste a prompt directly into the project's custom instructions, something like the prompt showing on the screen. Now, you do this once and you never have to explain it again. Every conversation inside that project starts already knowing you. 2. Give Claude knowledge. This is where almost everyone stops, and it's the single biggest gap between an average setup and the great one. A lot of people expect Claude to understand their business. I get that, but you need to teach Claude to understand your specific business and how you run things. So upload your actual document into the project knowledge, your brand guidelines, old sales pages, your customer research, your best blog posts, your SOPs if you have them. Once that material is sitting there, Claude stops guessing at who you are and start reasoning from your actual information. Ask it for a caption and it can match the rhythm of captions that already worked for you because it's reading them and not trying to invent your voice from a 2-sentence description. Next, create specialists. Instead of one project trying to do everything, build several projects. One for writing, one for research, one for strategy, one for marketing, and so on. Each project gets its own instructions, its own uploaded documents, and a job description. Your marketing project should never be asked to write a final blog copy, and your writing project should never be asked to build a go-to-market strategy. Keep the departments separate the same way a real company would. Don't ask Claude questions. Give it an assignment. Here's the difference. Most people would type in something like, write me a blog post about email marketing. Now, instead of doing that, try assigning the process. You can say something like the prompt on the screen. You don't have to copy these prompts. Use them as an insight to understand how you should be communicating with these AI tools. If you use a message like this one, you will notice that Claude wasn't answering the question anymore. It was thinking through a problem the same way a strategist would before ever touching the keyboard. That's the actual difference between a prompt and an assignment. Don't always accept the first answer you get from Claude. The output should go through a review pass before you touch it. You can ask questions like, if an expert in this field reviewed this, what would they criticize? Or what assumptions did you make that might be wrong? Or what's missing that would make this genuinely more useful? You can ask questions like this in one single prompt. Claude is surprisingly good at finding holes in its own work when you actually ask it to look. And the quality jump between a first draft and a self-reviewed second draft is bigger than most people would expect. Always updates your project with new information. A customer objection you heard on the call, a strategy that actually worked, or a project that flopped and taught you something. By doing this, your project slowly turns into something closer to a knowledge base for your entire business, not just a chat history. Eventually, it knows your products, your audience, your writing style, the way you actually make decisions, the processes you follow without thinking about them anymore. Now you stop explaining yourself because it already understands. That's the point where this stops feeling like a tool you're operating and starts feeling like a partner working with you. So here is the actual takeaway. Stop treating Claude like a chatbot. Instead, build an operating system around it, and every time you use it, that system gets a little smarter. Build these ones properly and use it for a very long time. That's a bigger advantage than any prompt you ever copy off the internet. If this was helpful, then please subscribe to the channel because I'll be making more videos around topics like this.